Herzlich willkommen zu MS Antonia and Phoenix Reisen. That's all I can speak in German. But we will go on this river cruise with Phoenix Reisen and MS Antonia from Cologne to Amsterdam, Medemblik and Holland, Rotterdam, Gorchingen, on and back to Cologne. And we start our boarding process in the river Rhine, just about 10 minutes walk from our hotel. This is our first river cruise and the boarding process was very simple. You just handle the luggage and then step on board and sit and wait on the sun deck before it was time to go down to the reception to receive your cabin card. MS Antonia was built in 2021 and is 131 meters long and 12 meters breadth. She can carry 190 passengers in 74 cabins and has a crew of 50 persons. And her top speed is 12 knots. So, comparing to our other cruise ships, this is very small, but it was really spacious. As soon as the cabin was ready, we were given the cruise card and came down to our cabin on deck number 3. It's a really spacious and luxurious cabin, and this wonderful French balcony and a really nice shower. Everything was spotless, and we really think this will be a wonderful stay during this river cruise. Quite soon after we entered the cabin, our cabin steward came with the luggage to us, so we unpacked and then headed up to the main and only lounge on board, the Panorama Lounge, which served coffee and cake before departure. It was time to explore this small ship. It only has 2 restaurants, one main restaurant, the Four Seasons restaurant, and a specialty restaurant, which is in the aft of the ship and serve a grill house menu. The pool deck is really nice and you get really close to the sea and the nature around us by the river. Comparing to all the big cruise ships that you are way up and maybe get a really nice view, but not as close as this. We set course for Amsterdam, which we will arrive tomorrow, with this wonderful sunset and evening. We just sit back and relax in the cabin and enjoy every scenery goes by. We took a sail away cocktail in the Panorama Lounge, which we really liked. The design and decor is really something we appreciate. Modern and sleek design. And we compare it to an airport lounge, except here we have an extended wonderful view, comparing to the normal view over in an airport lounge. Later on, the crew and staff on board held a welcome cocktail, where we got some practical information about our destinations, and later on we had a 4-course dinner in the restaurant Four Seasons. The food was really excellent, not such a big portions, but if you want to have more at your portion, you just say that to your waiter and they will arrange that for you. After the first day and afternoon on board, it was time to enjoy the lounge, which is situated in the front of the ship just over the restaurant, so you have a wonderful view over all the sceneries. A little bit too early, but at 10:30 you have a midnight snack if you are hungry after your 4-course meal. After a wonderful evening, it was time to head back to the cabin to sleep a little bit before we arrived to Amsterdam the next morning. Unfortunately, I woke up already at 5 before arriving to Amsterdam, but it was really good to take a look at the ship and make some videos of the ship totally empty. They have a small library section in the Panorama Lounge with some information about Phoenix Reisen and some books and some board games that you can sit and enjoy together with your travel companions. Here you also serve an early bird breakfast with some bread and coffee. But we did choose to go down to the main restaurant where they have an extended and very good breakfast buffet, and you order different hot items via the waiter as an a la carte menu, which we really think is a very nice way to enjoy a breakfast. And a wonderful view from the window while we're getting closer to Amsterdam. Unfortunately, the weather in Amsterdam was not the best. It was quite rainy and windy. Amsterdam is the longest time in port, and we will be docked between 9:30 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. So we have lots of time to explore this city. During this cruise we will dock at the cruise terminal in Amsterdam, where the normal ocean-going cruise ships are docking. Soon after arrival, the company's two other ships were docking just beside us, and as you see, we will dock just close to close, which limited our view over the seaside very limited. You can probably ask your neighbor from the other cruise ship for a cup of coffee or so. And you really have to think of taking the curtain on the window before leaving the ship. The walk into Amsterdam Central Station takes about 25 minutes. Even if the rain and wind hit us, it was really exciting to actually be here again. We start our day here in Amsterdam with some traditional sightseeing tour, and we used the Swedish company Strömma to take an 1-hour canal tour. It was really nice to do that because as soon as we boarded it started to pour down. We really think to go with the canal cruise or sightseeing tour in a new city gets you a little overblick over what you want to visit later on during the visit, especially when we are there just for one day and you want to make the most of it. Amsterdam is the Netherlands' biggest city and capital and has about 921,000 inhabitants. You can visit about 50 different museums, everything from Anne Frank to Van Gogh to erotic museums. Or just stroll around to enjoy these wonderful buildings that are by the canal side, which I think reflect the history of the city very well. When you are in Amsterdam, you really have to look out for the bikes. Bikes is a very big part of the transportation in the city. So look out for bikes and where you go so you don't get hit by a bike or fall in one of all the canals. The city was founded in the 1200th century and was actually named after the fishing village by the river that calls Amstel. During the guided tour we got really nice and interesting information about the city's different areas and buildings, which I unfortunately not can remember at this point when I record this video. So maybe next time you are in Amsterdam you should take a canal tour. After about 1 hour's guided tour on the canals, we were back at the main city center and was just strolling planless around in the lighter rain which was now. Just beside the Royal Palace you have the tourist attraction Madame Tussauds, the wax museum where you can see your favorite celebrity. But we continued strolling around very planless, without any map, to enjoy and see where our feet will take us. They were really nice areas to visit, and one thing with the heavy rain was that the street was not so crowded by people. Because normally Amsterdam has had a lot of problem with a bunch of tourists that will invade the city and the small narrow streets. Really appreciate Holland's statement for HBDQ rights, and that's shown very clearly in the public transportation where every tram or buses had the pride flag. After a few hours and some walking and heavy rain again, it was time to head back to our ship for some light lunch and just get off our soaked clothes. It is really nice that the ship is so small, everything is so close. So after we changed, it was time to get up to the panorama lounge and get some coffee and cushion and just enjoy to be inside. And this evening we will eat in the specialty restaurant that have a very limited seating, so it was the only day that was available for us. I can mention that this is not an all-inclusive cruise, so all your beverages will be purchased and put on your cruise card. But comparing to Swedish prices, it was very affordable on board. After a really nice dinner, we headed to the panorama lounge to just take something to drink and enjoy the view over Amsterdam. We thought of being awake until departure, but we were quite tired after this long walk, so it was time to head to bed quite early. We really hope you enjoyed this first video of our river cruise, and see you in the next one.